The PFA Team of the Year is an award presented to 11 players in each of the top 4 divisions of men's football in England, as well as the Women's Super League. Along with the PFA Player of the Year and PFA Young Player of the Year awards, a PFA Team of the Year inclusion is widely regarded as one of the highest accolades in the game, since the winners are chosen by the players themselves. Today we are looking at the Premier League's PFA Team of the Year for the 2008-09 season and the PFA Team of the Year for the 2018-19 season, comparing the players in each position and giving our views on the strongest possible combined 11, much in the same way as we have been doing with our ongoing club-based series. Before we start, I should point out that the PFA Team of the Year 10 years ago went with the 4-4-2 formation, whilst this season's was a 4-3-3, so there's one position where we can't make a direct comparison, so we have compared the second striker from 2009 with the most advanced/attacking midfielder from 2018-19. Here is our 2008-09 versus 2018-19 PFA Team of the Year combined 11. Goalkeeper: Edwin van der Sar versus Ederson. I should point out that I'm doing this video because a lot of people requested it, and fully in the knowledge that fans of teams whose players miss out in pretty much any position will be outraged. In goal, it's a choice between brilliant former Manchester United goalkeeper Edwin van der Sar and Manchester City's eccentric and technically gifted Brazilian Ederson. I'm a big fan of Ederson's, and he's been brilliant since arriving in the Premier League. David De Gea has been the PFA Team of the Year goalkeeper for 5 of the last 6 seasons, so Ederson deserves immense credit for taking that accolade from him, albeit De Gea has helped him out with a bit of a wobble this season. Overall though, our choice would have to be Van der Sar. This was the second of 3 PFA Team of the Year inclusions Van der Sar made at Manchester United, and he also won the Premier League Golden Glove Award and was named as UEFA Club Goalkeeper of the Year in 2009. Both Van der Sar and Ederson have fantastic distribution, albeit Ederson has taken it to another level, but in purely goalkeeping terms I'd say Van der Sar was the more accomplished, and as such, the right choice here. Right back: Glenn Johnson versus Trent Alexander-Arnold. On the face of it, the right back position may look like the weakest in this 11, but Glenn Johnson and Trent Alexander-Arnold both enjoyed excellent seasons in their respective campaigns. Johnson had successfully rebounded from being let go by Chelsea, and the attack-minded fullback had a brilliant final season at Portsmouth. The England regular was named as Pompey's Player of the Year and even scored the Premier League goal of the season before making an £8.5 million move to Liverpool in the summer. His challenger here, Trent Alexander-Arnold, has only ever played for Liverpool, the 20-year-old homegrown talent having emerged at Anfield over the last couple of seasons and establishing himself as a mainstay in Jurgen Klopp's side. Alexander-Arnold is brilliant at getting forward and really confident on the ball, but he perhaps isn't rock solid defensively just yet, as evidenced by Jurgen Klopp's decision to drop him for Liverpool's first leg away at Barcelona. The same could be said of Johnson in 08-09 though, so on the simple grounds that we think Alexander-Arnold is a better player, he's our choice at right back. Centre back: Rio Ferdinand versus Virgil van Dijk. I'd say there are probably 2 decisions in this 11 that are likely to cause real outrage in the comments, and this is undoubtedly one of them. Thankfully for me, whoever I pick, there's going to be one set of supporters incensed and out to get me in the comments, so I might as well be honest. Virgil van Dijk has been truly outstanding for Liverpool this season, and I'd say he thoroughly deserved his PFA Player of the Year award. So physical but so composed, Van Dijk is just a wonderful all-round centre-back, and Liverpool really would be lost without him. I think a lot of people forget just how good Rio Ferdinand was though. When you ask a Premier League player of his era to name their Dream 11, they may debate about whether it should be John Terry, Ricardo Carvalho, Nemanja Vidic, etc. who partners him, but they virtually all select Ferdinand at the heart of their defence. Ferdinand was the jewel in the crown of English defenders and especially centre-backs, combining gracefulness and elegance on the ball with the steely resilience of it. Make no bones about it, Van Dijk is a world-class centre-half. But we're talking about Ferdinand at the peak of his powers, and for us, he can't be overlooked. Centre back: Nemanja Vidic versus Aymeric Laporte. Manchester United's centre-back partnership of Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic was arguably the finest of the Premier League era, and we're going to unite it once again in our 11. Again, Aymeric Laporte is a brilliant footballer, and along with Ederson, he seems to be the first name on Pep Guardiola's team sheet. He is a really assured centre-back and a brilliant passer of the ball from deep, who fully deserved to partner Van Dijk in the Team of the Year. VIDIC was an absolute rock in 2008-09 though. By far the best season of his career, and it wasn't a bad career, VIDIC played 55 games, chipped in with 7 goals, made the FIFA Pro World 11, was named as the Premier League Player of the Year, Manchester United's Player of the Year, and Manchester United's Players Player of the Year. VIDIC wasn't as elegant as Ferdinand, but he was assertive, aggressive, and never shirked a challenge. We're pretty happy with our tried and tested centre-back partnership. Left back. Patrice Evra versus Andy Robertson. For my money at least, this was the hardest decision in this 11. As with VIDIC, 2008-09 was Evra at the peak of his powers. He was quick, tireless, positionally excellent, and strong in the challenge. Robertson, meanwhile, has been a force of nature down the left flank at Anfield this season, routinely delivering world-class crosses into the box and reaching double figures for assists, which is only the 3rd time such a feat has been achieved by a defender in the Premier League era. In many respects, it's a choice between defence and attack, because whilst Evra was an excellent outlet down the left, and Robertson is no liability at the back, I would undoubtedly say Evra was the shrewder and more accomplished defender, and Robertson the more dangerous going forwards. Evra made the FIFA Pro World 11 as the best left-back on the planet in 2009 though, and personally, I'm not convinced Robertson is the best left-back on the planet right now, or not yet at least. We also have no lack of firepower in forward areas in this 11, so it seems to make sense to go for the better defender. Liverpool fans will hate me, but I've got to go with Evra. Right wing. Cristiano Ronaldo versus Raheem Sterling. It's incredibly harsh on Raheem Sterling because he has probably been the best attacking player in the Premier League this season, but the man he is up against on the right flank makes this a no contest. I suspect it would surprise you to know that Sterling has only scored 3 goals fewer in all competitions this season than Ronaldo recorded in the 08-09 campaign at the time of this recording, and that is a mark of how well the Englishman has played. Ronaldo is obviously a different animal though. Arguably the greatest player of the Premier League era in terms of sheer ability, some feel Ronaldo's last 2 years at Manchester United were his peak in terms of his all-round play, albeit he would become far more prolific at Real Madrid. 08-09 was Ronaldo's last season at Old Trafford, and he made the FIFA Pro World 11 as well as winning the Puskas Award for that incredible long-range strike against Porto in the Champions League. Central midfield. Steven Gerrard versus Paul Pogba. Hopefully this is redemption time for me and Liverpool fans, well, the ones who didn't stop watching after left back anyway. I can see why people could make arguments for and against Paul Pogba's inclusion in the PFA Team of the Year, but personally, I wouldn't have picked him. Whilst undoubtedly brilliant at times, the Frenchman has only played well in spells yet again, and I just think that there have been other players who have been more consistent and impressive over the entire season. I'm going with Steven Gerrard as the beating heart of our midfield then, although the Englishman actually played in a really advanced role back in 2008-09. With Xabi Alonso and Javier Mascherano behind him, Benitez played Gerrard just off Fernando Torres as an attacking midfielder. An incredibly well-rounded footballer, Gerrard didn't let his standard slip, yes I've said slip, hilarious I know, nearly as often as Pogba does, and he scored 24 goals en route to being named as the FWA Footballer of the Year in 2008-09. Central midfield. Ryan Giggs versus Fernandinho. The 4-4-2 that made up the 2008-09 PFA Team of the Year is maybe the most attacking 4-4-2 you're ever likely to see, and the deepest midfielder was actually Ryan Giggs. From a fleet-footed wide man who tied fullbacks in knots earlier in his career, Giggs had transitioned brilliantly into one of the calmest and most impressive deep-line playmakers in the Premier League by 2008-09. One could make a case for this actually being the best season of Giggs' career, and he made the PFA Team of the Year for the 6th and final time, as well as being named as the PFA Players Player of the Year. His opponent Fernandinho is arguably the finest defensive midfielder in world football right now, with only Sergio Busquets as genuine competition as far as we're concerned. Much like Giggs, Fernandinho appears to be aging like a fine wine, and these last 2 seasons have been by far the best of the 33-year-old's career. It's a nasty decision, and they're 2 totally different players, but if I could only have one in my team, it'd be Fernandinho, and he also gives our team far more balance in midfield. Left wing. Ashley Young versus Sadio Mane. He may be an ageing and oft-criticised fullback at Manchester United now, but cast your minds back 10 years and Ashley Young was widely regarded as one of the finest wide men in the country. Really quick, an excellent crosser of the ball and a regular goal threat, Young won the PFA Young Player of the Year award in 2008-09, and Martin O'Neill claimed the then 23-year-old was on a par with Messi. If that were true, he'd wipe the floor with Sadio Mane. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and the Liverpool man is both the right and the obvious choice here. Mane has scored 24 goals in what has been the best season of his career at the time of this recording, and he really stepped up to keep Liverpool in the title race where Mohamed Salah just had a little dry spell earlier in the season. We don't think there can be too many debates about this one. Attacking midfield / centre forward, Nicolas Anelka versus Bernardo Silva. This is where things get a little tricky since the 2008-09 team had 2 centre forwards and the 2018-19 team only has 1. As such, we have to compare the most advanced and attack-minded midfield player from 2019, Bernardo Silva, with the least poacher-like striker from 2009, Nicolas Anelka. The 2008-09 season was the best of a successful and nomadic career for Nicolas Anelka, and he won the Premier League's Golden Boot as the division's top scorer, bagging 25 goals in all competitions. I love watching Anelka play that season, but I'm even more of a fan of Bernardo Silva. Rarely do you see a player who can combine technique, creativity, and work rate as expertly as Silva, who's been a huge player for Man City this season. I just think he's a better footballer than Anelka, so Silva is my choice in behind our centre forward. Centre forward, Fernando Torres versus Sergio Aguero. Had this been Fernando Torres of the 2007-08 season versus Sergio Aguero now, then I think I'd probably have had to have gone with the Spaniard. But the 2008-09 Torres versus Aguero seems like a no-brainer to me. Torres bagged 17 goals in 38 games in all competitions in what was his second season at Anfield, in comparison to Aguero's 31 in 44 this season. What's more, I'd say Aguero in his current carnation offers you more outside of goals than Torres did 10 years ago. Both Torres and Aguero arrived in the Premier League from Atletico Madrid and both have provided us with some incredible moments of magic. But Aguero is the better player, he had the better season, and he undoubtedly makes our combined 11. The team, including manager and substitutes. As always with these kind of 11s, we do have a substitutes bench and a manager. Since he missed out to Edwin van der Sar between the sticks, Ederson would be our more than capable deputy there. Virgil van Dijk was bitterly unlucky not to make our starting 11 off the back of a sensational season, so he inevitably becomes our second choice centre-back. In the fullback position, we would quite obviously go for Andy Robertson over Glenn Johnson. In midfield, we'd have to include Ryan Giggs, who was just superb in 2008-09 and would be a fantastic option to have off the bench. Joining him would be Raheem Sterling, whose improvements under Pep Guardiola and attacking output are just fantastic. Lastly, we'd include both Nicolas Anelka and Fernando Torres to complete our 7-man bench and ensure that we've plenty of firepower in waiting, in the rare instance that the combined talents of Cristiano Ronaldo, Sadio Mane and Sergio Aguero didn't prove to be enough. We can't really compare managers because at the time of this recording, the Premier League Manager of the Year for 2018-19 hasn't yet been announced. The likes of Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Maurizio Pochettino, Javi Gracia and Nuno Espirito Santo would probably be the leading candidates, but since whoever came out on top would be up against Sir Alex Ferguson, we'll just give the crown to Sir Alex already. To recap, our 08-09 and 18-19 PFA Team of the Year Combine 11 reads like this: Edwin van der Sar, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Patrice Evra, Cristiano Ronaldo, Steven Gerrard, Fernandinho, Sadio Mane, Bernardo Silva and Sergio Aguero, with a bench of Ederson, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson, Ryan Giggs, Raheem Sterling, Nicolas Anelka and Fernando Torres, all being put through their paces by the one and only Sir Alex Ferguson. That's not a bad little side, is it? Nevertheless, I've no doubt you some strong disagreements, most likely Liverpool fans, with the decisions to bench Van Dijk and Robertson, Manchester United fans, a Ryan Giggs' omission in favour of Fernandinho, and maybe even a couple of Pompey fans who feel Glenn Johnson has suffered an injustice. Anyhow, it's a game of opinions at the end of the day, and those are mine. Thanks for watching as always, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for HITC 7s.